Welcome to the Rare History Channel. George Machine Gun Kelly, the notorious gangster with a dark legacy.
George Machine Gun Kelly, a name that struck fear into the hearts of many during the Prohibition era, was a notorious gangster known for his involvement in bank robberies and kidnappings. His criminal exploits, often accompanied by violence and mayhem, earned him a place in the annals of American criminal history. In this video, we delve into 11 shocking and rare facts about the life of George Machine Gun Kelly, shedding light on the dark and sinister world he inhabited.
Fact number 1. From average citizen to ruthless criminal mastermind. George Kelly Barnes, born on July 18, 1895, in Memphis, Tennessee, embarked on a life of crime after experiencing failures in legitimate business ventures. Dissatisfied with his lack of success, Kelly turned to criminal activities as a means of making a name for himself. During the 1920s and 1930s, he quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a notorious gangster. Initially involved in bootlegging and petty crimes, Kelly soon graduated to more audacious criminal endeavors, including bank robberies and kidnappings. His charisma, intelligence, and ability to organize criminal operations earned him respect among his peers and made him a force to be reckoned with in the criminal underworld. Number 2. The infamous Urschel kidnapping. One of the most shocking and high-profile crimes associated with George Machine Gun Kelly was the abduction of Charles F. Urschel, a prominent Oklahoma oil tycoon, in July 1933. Kelly, along with his wife Catherine and their gang, meticulously planned and executed the kidnapping. Urschel was held captive for several days in various hideouts, enduring physical and psychological torment. The gang demanded a staggering ransom of $200,000 for his release. However, unbeknownst to them, Urschel had memorized details about his captivity, leading to the eventual identification and capture of the kidnappers. The Urschel kidnapping case attracted widespread attention and significantly contributed to the dismantling of Kelly's criminal empire. Number 3. The unlikely nickname, Machine Gun Kelly. Contrary to popular belief, George Kelly Barnes did not earn the nickname Machine Gun for his proficiency with firearms. The moniker was bestowed upon him by the media, who sought a sensational label to enhance his criminal image. Although Kelly was not particularly known for using machine guns during his criminal activities, the nickname resonated with the public's perception of him as a dangerous and violent gangster. Over time, Machine Gun Kelly became synonymous with George Kelly Barnes, further fueling his infamous reputation. Number 4. A man obsessed with publicity. George Machine Gun Kelly possessed an insatiable desire for public attention and recognition. He actively courted media coverage, using it to project an image of fear and danger. Kelly understood that by cultivating a larger-than-life persona, he could instill fear in his enemies and gain a following among the public. He embraced his notoriety, often engaging in theatrical gestures during public appearances and courtroom trials. This obsession with publicity was a calculated strategy to enhance his criminal reputation and maintain a sense of power and influence in the criminal underworld. Number 5. The prison escape that shook the nation. In a move that captivated the nation, George Machine Gun Kelly orchestrated a brazen escape from the Oklahoma State Penitentiary in October 1933. Collaborating with fellow inmates, Kelly devised an elaborate plan to overpower guards and seize control of the prison. The escape involved using smuggled weapons and a strategic diversion to distract the authorities. The audacity and success of the breakout reverberated across the country, instilling a sense of shock and awe. Kelly's ability to elude capture for several months after the escape only added to the legend surrounding his name, cementing his reputation as a daring and elusive criminal. Number 6. Kelly's unexpected capture. George Machine Gun Kelly's streak of evading capture came to an end in September 1934. After an extensive nationwide manhunt, federal agents finally located and apprehended him in Memphis, Tennessee. Acting on a tip from a disgruntled former accomplice, law enforcement authorities swiftly closed in on Kelly, ending his brief period of freedom. The arrest marked a significant victory for law enforcement agencies, who had been tirelessly pursuing Kelly and his criminal activities. Number 7. The disappointing reality, a less prolific criminal record. Despite his notorious reputation and the larger-than-life image cultivated by the media, George Machine Gun Kelly's actual criminal record fell short of the widespread perception of him as a prolific criminal mastermind. While Kelly was involved in high-profile crimes such as bank robberies and kidnappings, his actual involvement in successful heists was relatively limited. Some of his infamous escapades, such as the Urschel kidnapping, were executed with the help of more seasoned criminals. In reality, Kelly's criminal activities were not as extensive as his public image suggested, leading to a realization that the legend of Machine Gun Kelly may have been inflated by media sensationalism.
Number 8. A lifetime sentence. After his capture, George Machine Gun Kelly faced trial for the Urschel kidnapping. In 1934, he was found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This marked the end of his reign as a notorious gangster, as he was confined to a life behind bars. Kelly spent the remainder of his days in prison, cut off from the outside world and the criminal activities that had defined his earlier years.
Number 9.
A failed attempt at infamy. During his time in prison, George Machine Gun Kelly sought to capitalize on his notoriety by writing a memoir. Titled Machine Gun Kelly's Last Stand, the book aimed to recount his criminal exploits and perpetuate his image as a legendary figure. However, the memoir failed to achieve the expected fame and recognition.
It received lukewarm reviews from the public and critics, quickly fading into obscurity.
Despite his efforts to remain relevant, Kelly's memoir failed to make the lasting impact he had hoped for.
Number 10. A forgotten legacy.
In the years that followed his death, George Machine Gun Kelly's once notorious reputation gradually faded from public memory.
Unlike other infamous gangsters of his era, such as Al Capone or John Dillinger, Kelly's name and deeds have become largely forgotten.
His criminal career, though sensationalized during his time, was relatively short-lived and lacked the iconic exploits that would have ensured his lasting fame. Over time, Kelly's legacy diminished, and he became a footnote in the history of organized crime.
Number 11. Inspiring pop culture.
Despite his descent into relative obscurity, George Machine Gun Kelly's name and image continue to be featured in popular culture. He has become a character of fascination and intrigue, depicted in various films, books, and television shows. These fictionalized portrayals often highlight his larger-than-life persona and the mystique surrounding his criminal activities. Although distorted and exaggerated, these depictions keep a semblance of Kelly's legacy alive, ensuring that his name remains part of the cultural landscape, albeit in a fictionalized context.